Hey guys, welcome back to the Real Southern Garden. I'm Sarah, and today we're at the historic Hiram-Butler House and Gardens in beautiful Kennesaw, Georgia. A man named Hiram Butler built this structure between 1876 and 1882 after his first home in the area actually burned down. And Hiram Butler was actually instrumental in the Great Locomotive Chase from the Civil War. So if you like history, you can read up on that if you want to. But over about 100 years or so, this property changed hands with different owners, but in 1970, it was bought by Smith and Gilbert, and they are the owners responsible for these beautiful gardens that you see today and all of the art sculptures and art structures here on the property. In 2005, the city of Kennesaw, Georgia, actually acquired this property, and so now it is their own botanical garden right here in Kennesaw, Georgia, and they have really done a lot with it. There's a lot of events here for children, and they've just done a great job at maintaining the gardens as well. This garden has a pretty extensive camellia collection, which I always enjoy coming to visit, especially in the fall and the winter months. And I love this little courtyard area right here with the boxwoods, and of course you see some of the pencil holly that they've planted. It's just such a neat little spot, and it just really adds a lot to the beautiful structure of the home. They even have little pineapples I can see right there that of course are the symbol for hospitality in the South. They're always a great addition to any garden. And I love the way they have these little containers on their sides and plants planted, and I'm just spilling out. That's something that you could definitely do in your own home garden. So this little side garden over here is a little bit of English style, a little bit of Italian, I would say. But I love this idea to use the planter here, the fountain as a planter. All the boxwoods in the back with the red brick. I love it. They have a lot of lamb's ear planted, I can see. And of course, there's a giant hydrangea back there on the right side, on your right side of the screen. I'm not exactly sure what variety that is, but it is almost 10 feet tall. And then they have their koi pond over here now. They used to have it in the back, but they're about to do a major renovation on this property, and they're going to add some more wheelchair-friendly ramps and pathways and things like that, which I'm really excited to see happen, because that way it just makes the entire garden very accessible for everyone. And then here's these giant koi fish. I mean, they are really huge. It's just so beautiful. Guys, check out this beautiful patch of blue behind me. They have the coolest collection of plants at this garden. That blue aster is really something. Oh, I just love big swaths of color like that. And then when you wind around, they have a whole area devoted to bonsai topiaries and that kind of thing. And they do a lot of like courses here where you can learn how to prune bonsai and grow bonsai. So that's over to the right side. But I'm going to take you guys around the front side of the property and show you some of the camellias and some of the other things that they have planted up that way. One of my favorite things to do is visit not only other people's just private gardens and home gardens, but I love to come to different botanical gardens, state gardens, city gardens, any garden, and I just get ideas for what I want to do at my own home. I love to look at different plants and different plant combinations and just the structure, the evergreen structures that they have. All of it gives me ideas to take home and try out on my own. They have some beautiful evergreen conifers here planted. I don't have a spot that I can do that. Full sun areas are definitely, I don't have a ton of those on my property. I wish I had more, but I save them for my flowers, so I really don't have any room for evergreens, but those kind of evergreens, like pines. But they are gorgeous, I must say. And I told you guys they had quite the collection of camellias, so you're definitely going to get to see a few that are, pretty out of this world. Beautiful camellia. I mean, it's just covered in white blooms. It's so pretty. I always love gardens that are built around like an open kind of grassy courtyard area where there's just different plays of light, the way there's shadier spots and there's a shade garden there and there's a beautiful just open sunny spot, and it just kind of divides it up where you can have more like garden rooms, and it really delineates the property in a special way, at least in my opinion. This holly tree was just covered in berries. All of the ones in the area right now are, and there were so many birds just all over this tree. They were loving it. And then we're gonna just turn around and we're gonna face what's actually the rose garden. And I spoke to some of the people that work here, and I'm not exactly sure what the future of the rose garden is going to be. I think they have some plans in the renovation that may take over this area. And I did express my concern for that. Not that it probably matters too much, but I really, really love rose gardens, and I just hate to see this one go. They have a lot of really old heirloom roses here. They're not blooming, of course, in this video, and it looks like they probably suffered a little bit this summer and they had pruned them back, which normally you don't do in the summertime, but if they do get really diseased and you still have a couple months in the growing season, you can do that and they will be okay. And I'm guessing that's what they did here. And then of course, here's my daughter. She's gonna take us back on the little pathway back to the pond in the far corner of this garden. And this is where they used to have the koi fish, actually. And I brought my little girl, my oldest little girl, here when she was like 9 months old. She doesn't remember it, of course, but I definitely do. So Smith-Gilbert Gardens is 13 acres, and that's a pretty good sized property. And to have it all landscaped into a garden, of course parts of it are a little bit more wild, but still, I mean, this is a really big garden for a private garden. And I just love the fact that the city was able to buy it and preserve it for everyone else to enjoy. And then this part is kind of like a terraced area where it terraces down until you get to this pond, and they have a lot of different really cool rocks and other look like rock outcropping type landscaping in this area. And kind of there was a couple cactus that I also saw, so some more of the drier climate liking plants. And then this little pond is where the koi fish used to be, but they have since taken them out because they're about to do a renovation, like I spoke about. And I think they're going to actually pave a lot of these walkways around here that are gravel. But this is a beautiful pond for inspiration if you would like to put in a home pond. My daddy actually we had 3 ponds growing up, and he would have loved this one because it looks very natural, and he was really into that. You know, it kind of just blended in. It looked like it was supposed to be there. This spot here is so cool. I love how shady it is. It's so beautiful. This is like the perfect spot to come and just relax. They used to have giant koi fish back here. I think they have moved them up to that front pond because they're going to do a renovation very soon. But what do you think? I love this area. What do you think, Charlotte? Yeah. So many just cool plants, and the way that the sun comes through these trees, I feel like I don't know, in some hidden garden, definitely not in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia. And this waterfall right here is absolutely stunning. I love it. I would love to have this in my backyard. This is a Yuletide camellia. It is huge. It's like 10 feet high, 10 feet wide. And I know the tags say they can get this big, but you never see them in real life, very rarely. This big. It is crazy. It's beautiful. I love it. Wow, what a beauty she is. I know one thing that Smith and Gilbert really loved was artwork. And there are so many just really cool art sculptures and art pieces in this garden. If you love art, this is definitely a place to come. So we're going to head back the other direction. But before we do, I do want to show you this really interesting ground cover that I came across. It looks like it grows pretty well in the shade, and they just have it covering this whole area, devilwood. I have not seen that before, but anytime you can have something like that, you know, cover your soil, it really helps cut down on weeds. And then here is an interesting piece of artwork right there. They have some mix of contemporary, as you can see, and then they have some more formal looking pieces as well. So I guess that they liked both. And then on the far side, like the outskirts of this garden, they have their camellias, and they're shadier, which makes sense, right? You're gonna have your shade on the periphery of your garden, generally, and the sun in the middle, and that is how this garden is set up as well. Look at this beautiful pink camellia. The blooms are just, they're so frilly and they're so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love the sustainable camellias this time of year when they're just showing off. They're awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked this video, please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. And we will see you back here next time at the Real Southern Garden. Bye.